May I have your attention, please? If you haven't done so at this time, please silence all cell phones and pagers, and please sign in. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, July 29th, 2020, and the time is 12:41 p.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shahardi,
Here.
Commissioner Wagasback,
Here.
Commissioner Jeffers,
Here.
Commissioner Vercher,
Here.
Commissioner Wood, 4 present and a quorum.
Thank you. All right, at this time, I'll ask everybody who is going to testify this morning to please come forward to take their oath. The first one we're taking up is Mr. Gernhauser, the assessor's appeal. Oh, that's you, okay. All right, you can go go ahead and swear him in. Yes, it's an assessor appeal.
The very last one.
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Johnny Butler, I do. Chairman,
It is the Tax Commission's policy to accept all documents into the record that were timely pre-filed in accordance with the Commission's rules and regulations. This will be done at the conclusion of all hearings on today's docket. Accordingly, there is no need to formally offer or introduce the exhibits into the records during your appeal hearing. However, if you intend to object to the submission of any of the opposing parties' exhibits, you must notify the Commission at the start of your appeal hearing. As a reminder, this is an administrative hearing, and as such, the rules of evidence are relaxed. The Commission is inclined to review and consider all evidence submitted and to accept such evidence into the record. All right, the first matter we're going to take up this afternoon is the appeal of Assessor Errol Williams versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-315. All right, the assessor's office is not here for this hearing, so we'll ask, Mr. Gernhauser is here. It's his property, so I'd ask you to please come forward to the microphone and tell us about your property.
My property is
Could you talk a little bit closer to the microphone? I'm sorry.
my property is a two-story double in Mid-City neighborhood near near City Park, Delgado Community College. I am in the middle of the block, and
Excuse me one second. Ms. Malvo, can you go ahead and lower
ahead,
it so we
Mr.
can hear a little bit better? Okay, it'll kick down in a minute or so. Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
that's okay. The neighborhood that I live in is the surrounding blocks consists of a lot of rental properties which aren't kept very well. I had emailed my photographs and description of my neighborhood, and I'm asking did y'all receive that, because I wasn't allowed to bring printed copies today.
I didn't get the email.
You didn't get it. So you don't have any record of any visuals that I sent? I mean,
No, I don't have the email. You can resend it later.
I have a computer, and
We do have information, photos that's, attached to the appraisal. I don't know if they're the same photos, because
No.
it makes a note in the appraisal that you furnished some of those pictures.
the photographs and what I'm talking about is my neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Walking around my neighborhood, it's not the condition of my property, which I take care of. It's the condition of my neighborhood, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that my property is a well-kept property in a neighborhood of ill-kept properties. and you don't have the email that I sent you. And I got confirmation from the person I sent it to that they would send it to the commission for this hearing.
When did you send the email?
Where?
When?
When?
A month ago when I got the date for this hearing.
We'll double check the email.
Okay. Well, the point of the attachment of that email is photographs of the properties around my neighborhood, and it is a neighborhood that's near some railroad tract which has industrial properties, businesses which are a block away from my property. And also, my street is 1 block off of a main avenue, which the properties across the street from me, I'm looking at the backs of these properties. And so St. Peter Street, which my property is on, is the fronts of residents on my side of the street. On the other side, it's the back side of people's ill-kept sheds and their garbage cans. And so that's something else to consider in the value of my property. Again, that was also illustrated in the attachment of my email. That's about all I got to say. I think without you looking at my presentation, that my words aren't quite as good as my photographs I took.
Could you tell us what value you're asking for today?
I'm asking for the value it was appraised or assessed by, I think it was, without an increase, I think it was $465, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm asking for
462, 200?
that was it. So I'm asking for it not to be raised.
Was that your value the prior year?
I'm sorry, repeat
Was
that?
was that your value the prior year, 2019?
Yes.
I see the Board of Review adjusted it much lower.
From the exorbitant assessment that was given to me this year.
Yeah.
We have a notation here. Did you acquire the property recently? Was there a recent sale of the property, a purchase of the property?
No, I bought it from my family when my parents deceased in
Oh,
2003.
okay. All right. All right. We don't have much to go on here except our staff appraisal, which is $535,000. How do you feel about that number?
I think it's too high. I don't think I should be increased at all.
Well, we don't have any information justifying a different value. That's why we're kind of struggling. That's why you kind of see us sitting here looking like we're scratching our heads because
Yeah, because
we don't
what-
have a, the only valuation analysis appraisal we have is the one from our staff, which is $535,000.
Are you currently renting it out right now?
Yes, the other side of I live on one side and rent the other side.
Both sides? What is your total rent?
My rent is $16.50 per month.
Per side?
He
No,
lives
I
in
live on one side.
Oh, you live on, I'm sorry.
if I could have access to a computer, I could possibly get to the attachment that is missing from my presentation. I have a phone, but I don't think I could do it on my phone, but.
We're working on it right now.
Okay.
How large is the property? How many square feet? Living area
The living area, both sides,
together, yes.
approximately 4,000 square feet.
Okay.
A little under.
Yeah, we've got here 3,848 square
Yeah,
feet, so
yeah.
that fits in. And you're getting about 31, well, the one side's rented at 1,550, and you live on the other side.
Correct.
So theoretically, that's double that, so rent could be 3,100 a month roughly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 1,550 on one side, theoretically 1,550 on the other, so it'd be
I
3,100.
suppose so, yeah.
Okay.
There was mention at the board of review of a comparative market analysis, a CMA.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Evidently, you got someone to give you some information for the board of
Yeah,
review.
it came to about 525,000.
The CMA did.
Yeah.
Is that what the board of review reduced it to? Or,
I thought it was the number that he gave, 535, was that?
the staff appraisal is 535,000, but our information says that the board of review number was
Five.
265,000. It seems to be a little bit of a confusion or mistake along the way. And the
Yeah,
assessor-
it seemed like that was a mistake. I saw that.
Yeah, it seems real low, you know.
And I think that's why the assessor appealed the board of review number,
Mm-hmm.
because of the confusion.
Well,
But-
it went down, that's the number I had about 4 or 5 years ago. And so it jumped from that number to 462,
Two.
and then it jumped from there to 610.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get back to the 462 number
Well,
that was assessed about 4 years ago.
I mean, a little bit of the problem is that, you know, we're talking the market value of the property, the information that we have in front of us, and the information that we're piecing together really shows a fair market value of the property to be in excess of the 462,000. Now, I think what you're saying is that the neighborhood, you're the biggest apple on the tree.
That's right.
And that does not necessarily mean that it's overvalued, though, at the five. I mean, I'm only.
Well,
I'm
that
only one
may or
person,
may
but-
not be true. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I mean, what's the saying in real estate is location.
That's correct.
I have a very nice house that I renovated when I bought it 17 years ago, and it's in a neighborhood that's, you know, a little run down. And in my opinion, it's quite run down, and I think I'm overassessed, and the fair market doesn't take into account my surrounding properties. I mean, I'm the key lot in the block, which is the large lot, but my adjoining properties are derelict in some cases.
What percent value do you think the property's appreciated in the last 4 years?
Depreciated?
Appreciated, gone up in value. I mean, everything in New Orleans has consistently kind of trickled up, right?
Mhm.
Especially the last 4 years. What kind of inflation, or where do you think it's increased in the last 4 years?
I
As a
don't think so.
percent.
My neighborhood has not improved. It's gotten worse in the last 4 years.
So
I had
have
I had my house painted in the last 4 years, so it looks a lot nicer.
Have you looked at any sales to see if any sale values have declined or have they gone up?
Well, that's what the comparative market analysis does. So,
Which came back at 525.
535.
true, but those properties, I mean, if you look at it just in that, yeah, I can agree with that, but if you stand on my property and look at the presentation that I had put together and emailed, you'll see that I'm I'm in a bad neighborhood, worse than the properties that are used on the analysis.
And maybe that's what we need to hear from the appraiser, and then you can maybe shoot some holes in the appraisal that we had.
Well, that was my shotgun, the attachment that got lost. And like I said, if I could get a laptop or something, I'm sure I can come up with the document.
It's coming.
Well,
Do we want to take it under advisement till we recover that
The
file?
pictures are coming.
They're coming,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I'm willing to sit down and wait for it.
all right,
Y'all
well,
want to see
let's,
somebody else in the
all right, if
meantime?
you want to do that. You found it?
Yes, they're coming. The
It's
copies are coming.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, well, why don't we take a pause on this appeal, wait till we get those documents, and then we'll call you back.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Is there a
All right.
restroom around?
Yes, sir.
Down the
This
hall.
way?
Down the hall, go out,
Okay.
down the hall.
Out the door, straight out the door, and then come on back. All right, we'll pick this one back up when we get more information. The next item on the agenda.
I
we'll
have
take-
the copies.
Let's go ahead and take another one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take another one. Item Q, Donald Valley.
I gotta get you sworn in. Sure. The chairman will let you know when he's ready. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
State your name.
Donald Valley.
Thank you. You can stand right there. The chairman will let you know when you're
All
ready.
right.
Just give me a moment. All right, this is the appeal of Donald G. Valley versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-291. All right, Mr. Valley, it's your property, so please go ahead. Tell us about your property.
My property is it's at 611 North Hennessy in New Orleans. Last year, I received a bill on July 9th where it was appraised at, well, at 285, and then it says the current year, 213. And then of July 24th, later on that month, I got one where it went up to $318,400. Anyway, in its current condition, you know, there are a lot of people in that neighborhood buying up properties and fixing them up, sinking about $100,000 into them, getting $400,000 and $500,000. And I think that's why my property taxes jumped up like that. My house, in its current condition, it's not worth $318. I got a list of things that need to be done on it to bring it up to, you know, maybe pristine condition. You know, I need electrical has to be updated. I have fuse panels, I have rotten shutters and rotten weatherboards, and, you know, I have about a dozen things on this list. And I have pictures too. So, I mean, if you want me to go down the whole list, I can.
Well, what condition would you say your property's in right now? Excellent, good, average, fair, poor?
It's fair, I mean, it's livable. The roof's not leaking, the gutters are, you know, but it definitely needs to be upgraded. You know, have rotten wood, have busted vinyl tiles. The wiring definitely needs to be upgraded. I got a rot on the back porch. And did I say the gutters were leaking? I have all my insulation after Katrina under the house was swept away by the floodwaters. I haven't replaced it yet. It's about 90% of it's gone. And there's no insulation in the attic either. I got interior pine floors that are cracked and split. It's livable, but it definitely needs to be fixed up.
You didn't send in any photographs or anything to us?
No, I have photographs, but I
Yeah.
didn't send any in.
This is a double?
It's a wood frame raised double.
It's currently rented out?
Yeah, I have a old guy that stays there. He's probably gonna die in an apartment. He's $600 a month. That's what and I want him to stay there. He's neat, he's clean, he's quiet.
And you
know.
live on one side,
He lives
the
on
other?
one side, I live on the other. It's a mirror image of my side.
Okay. And it's $600 what you get.
That's what I get. And that's about half.
What do you think the true fair market value is of the rent? 1,200?
Oh, I guess if I could get maybe 1,000, maybe. I don't, people in the neighborhood get 12. I know some people they had Section 8 across the
So
street from.
conservatively speaking, 1,000 a month?
Yeah.
I don't think our appraiser was actually able to view the interior of the home.
No, I don't, nobody ever came out.
And I'm sure the assessor as well didn't.
Okay.
I'm asking that question.
No one's come out.
You have some estimates on repairing the damage?
I got some verbal quotes, that's all I got. Guys don't want to give you written estimates because they think you're going to shop with it. You're going to take it and go shopping.
How
But-
much?
What you've heard, we seem to believe certain stories.
Yeah, electrician, some of the work I do myself. I used to be a contractor, but electrical and some of the plumbing, you need a licensed electrician. The electrician, he said he'd give me a deal at $7,000 to change out my service and put new fuse panels, circuit breakers in. The shutter man is gonna rebuild my shutters and remove them, reinstall them for $500 a set. And there's 5 sets on one side I need to have done. The other ones are passable. I'm gonna paint them myself. The windows need to be reglazed at $120 a window. That's 5 windows. Let's see. The insulation's gonna be about $1,000 just for material under the house. I was gonna do that myself. Might be $1,200. I gotta get another price. The rotten back porch, that's about $800. Some pieces of wood need to be replaced and painted. The kitchen floor, just for the cost of materials, gonna be about $150. I can do that myself. Interior pine floors, that's gonna be a lot more. I mean, that's gonna be probably $300-400 to replace that and redo it, and I'm gonna have to get it refinished. There's a terracotta sewer line that's cracked and leaking under the house. I'm gonna try to do that myself. That's probably a couple of $1,000 worth of work. I gotta dig it all up.
So you need about $25,000 of work overall?
About that, yeah.
most of that probably wasn't visible from, just looking at the assessor's website as far as the pictures are concerned, I guess.
No, not from the exterior of the house. You'd have to go inside to see, the flooring and things like that. From the outside, you can see the rotten weatherboards, maybe the leaky gutters. It's, you gotta look at it when it's raining.
Do we have any other questions yet at this point? Let's hear from our appraiser and see what she has to say,
All right,
okay? And please please go have a seat.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, sure.
Okay, I appraised the property at $310,000 with an undisputed land value of $85,000 and the improvement valued at $225,000. I also did a market approach and it came out to, the income approach came out to $313,800 and I went with the 310.
Did you drive by the property at all?
No, this was during the COVID, when we were not allowed to go out in the field. And so
Okay.
I used the assessor's picture. I also looked at Google Maps, and I have a picture from Google and from the assessor in there. I did talk to Mr. Valley back on May 1st, and we talked about all of his repairs, and he was gonna try to get me the quotes and send me additional pictures. I talked to him again on 5/11, and he had not been able to get me that information, and at that point, I needed to turn this report in, and so I went ahead and finished it as is with what I could do, looking at Google and reading what other properties in the area were going for.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other questions?
So you were requesting 200,000?
That's what I did last time, because I thought maybe to meet somewhere in the middle.
Well, I could see some small adjustments, I don't think it'd be there, but, if I looked at your rent, the income approach would probably, or the GRM approach would be more like around 296. If I take staff appraisal and adjust it for 25, you're around 285, so I'm kind of entertaining a motion in that area.
Yeah, well, if you want to go ahead and make a motion. Mr.
So with
Wagasback?
respect to docket number 19-22172291, my motion would be to adjust the staff appraisal by about 25,000 to set the value at 285, allocating 85,000 to land and 200,000 to the improvements to arrive at a total of 285.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right. So we've lowered it from the, since at 318,400, we've brought it down to 285. Okay? Hopefully that helps out. All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
One question about homestead exemption on here, is it?
That's going to be a direct assessor question.
Oh, okay.
Do they show that on there for you?
It's on here, 7,500, but I don't see where they subtract it from anything.
Yeah, you're gonna maybe, well, they're just showing the change. That's just showing the previous, so there wouldn't be,
No, that's just showing assessments. I
yeah, that's
think.
just
Okay, 'cause I'm
assessment.
in homestead
On your
exemption.
bill, it should be reduced by that.
If you go on the assessor's website,
Yeah.
you might be able to look up your property there, and if the homestead exemption has been applied, it should show up on the website,
Right.
okay?
Are we done?
We're
Yes,
done.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.
They might do.
All right, we're ready to go back to the, to Mr. Gernhauser?
Yes, staff was also able to, due to some paperwork that was submitted by Board of Review, we went and pulled the CMA that was provided at the Board of Review.
Yeah.
And they only printed one copy for me, so it's going around.
Say it again?
I only received one copy, so it's going around as we speak.
Okay.
The CMA.
Well, yeah, CMAs are shaky sometimes, though. All right. No, I've got this. CMA. You get this?
Yeah, I have that.
Okay. These photographs that we, Mr. Gernhauser, why don't you come back to the microphone? These photographs in the neighborhood, but there's no photographs, detailed photographs like this of your property.
No, no, it's to show my adjoining properties.
Okay.
And I think there's a photograph of the property directly across the street from the front of my house.
We're having to look at this. This is all new from what we didn't have before, so it's going to take a few moments.
Sure, take your time.
Since I'm sitting at the front of the table, I got to look at it first as it went through, but if you take the lowest number on that comparative market analysis, you're still at around 510,000. I think it was 507 was the low end of the range.
Mm-hmm.
So of all the numbers we've been tasked with, you know, giving you the most benefit of the doubt based on the information that we have, it appears that the value is going to be in excess of $500,000. I think you're probably correct. I think the 610,000 is you know, too high.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the 462 may be low. I mean, that's my opinion, just verbalizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he, I think he's getting a little bit more below market rent, which could generate an adjustment if you look at the valuation on the GRM. But according to the appraisal, at staff appraisal, the market is 535. I'm just trying to figure out how we weight the two, you know. And do you think your rent's a little lower because of some of the surrounding properties being in the condition they are, or?
I do, and there
Are you just being generous because it's your neighbor? or-
No, I'm not being generous. I need the rent money. There's a glut of apartment complexes in New Orleans at the time, and I think that's affecting being able. Last time I rented that, it took me a while to get it rented, so I had to lower my number rental.
Mr. Gernhauser tells us that he would be getting the equivalent of roughly $3,100 a month in rent if you're renting both sides. He said $1,550 on one side, you live in the other
Yeah.
side, so I'm just assuming
Did you say 1550 or 1650?
I said 1650, but
16,
That's what I thought, yeah.
1650?
mhm.
Okay,
Now, let me,
all right, well, hold on a
give
minute.
us a chance to rerun some.
Let me redo this.
Chairman, I think I may have a number we can,
Yeah,
um,
please go ahead.
you know, after, on docket number 19.
Let's,
I'm sorry.
Oh, we hadn't heard from the
Oh, we gotta go.
appraisal.
yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry.
hear from Ms. Kennedy.
Lost track of our stats.
Have we heard from up? Did you testify as to your appraisal?
No, we took a break,
Well, I know we took a break. Okay,
but she didn't testify.
okay, why don't you come, have a seat, if you don't mind, and let our appraiser put it into the record.
Okay, when I appraised this property, I came up with a fair market value of $535,000 with an undisputed land value of $193,200 and an improvement value of $341,800. I also did an income approach with potential rent and came up with $535,201. But on the actual appraisal on the market rent, on the market value, I did give him a 5% adjustment due to the neighborhood. What I did, this was during the COVID where we couldn't go out and visit and actually look. I looked on Google Maps and I could see some of the things he was talking about. So I did make a 5% adjustment for that and still came out with the 535,000.
Any questions?
And you had kind of a wide range of rents, which I think is what's kind of got me a little bothered as far as the potential rent.
Yeah,
Because you went from 4,725 as low as 2,800, so you ended up around 4,117 a month. Based on his testimony, he's probably around 3,200 actual,
right.
obviously below market. I'm not sure, what the potential is, but, is that maybe an outlier, that 4,725, for whatever reason?
I didn't see anything that gave me an indication other than it being the highest one. I was trying to keep my rental properties as close to the neighborhood as I
Yeah,
could.
right. I got you.
And within size range, keep that in mind too.
Okay.
And those were the three best ones. So I had a high one, a middle one, and a low one.
All right.
So,
All right, Mr. Wagaspack, do you,
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think I've got a Motion on docket number 19-22172-315, based on the consideration of the neighborhood as well as kind of adjusting our value to what the true rent is. Between the market and the rental adjustment, I think on average, I think I'm gonna set the value at $495,000. Will be my motion allocating land, $193,200 and $301,800 to the improvements for a total $495,000.
Second?
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. All right, thank you very
Are we
much.
done?
Thank you for coming, we're done.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next is item R, Susan Mahaffey.
You can go to the microphone right here. Please, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Affirm to oath? I do.
I do.
State your name.
Susan Mahaffey.
Thank you. The chairman will let you know when he's ready.
All right, Ms. Mahaffey, this is your appeal, so please talk as close to the microphone as you can. Talk close to the microphone and tell us about your property.
Well, the property is in a very weird situation. It sits between the railroad track and a street that goes, it used to go above the railroad tracks. You know, it's at a point, and I have lots of problems with the roof and rot and the central air conditioning. When I put closed cell foam insulation in it, I never did take the aluminum siding off the outside. I just basically kind of made the inside livable. And that's, you know, it's not in a good situation. And the property always floods. It always holds water because when the man filled his property in, it blocked the water from going to the drain. And, I mean, it's a bad situation. But to make a long story short, I do agree with the state's assessment. And I just wanted you to know that, And I have, you know, rot in the bedroom and termites. I mean, it's just, it's extensive, okay?
And the house, so what you're saying is that the house is livable, but there are a number of issues that you need to address.
Oh, there are a number of issues.
A number of issues that
Yes,
need to be
sir.
addressed, such as the roof.
And, you know, the siding needs to
Yeah.
come off, and studs need to be replaced, and there's termites in it, and I don't know where they are, where they're gonna pop up next. I
They'll
don't
let you know when they're ready.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they'll let you know
And-
when they're ready.
And something really crazy happened. They decided to come out when the electric was off, and I forgot the electric was off, and it was during one of those like mini hurricane things. And I went, what is this dirt on the wall? And when I put my finger on it to figure out what the dirt was on the wall, my hand went through it. And that picture with the fan window, that is my bedroom, and I can't even sleep in my bedroom. I have to sleep in the front room because there's so much like hot air that's coming through the roof. And if you were gonna ask me anything about renting it out, I wouldn't rent it out because it would be a liability. I mean, it would seriously be a liability.
All right. But you told us that you agree with the staff appraisal,
Yes, sir.
$160,000?
The state's appraisal,
State
yes,
appraisal.
sir.
Okay. All right, well, why don't you go ahead and have a seat? Don't talk yourself out of it. And let's hear from Ms. Butler.
I appraised the property at 872 Florida Boulevard for a total market value of $160,000, land being 77.8, improvements 82,200. And you can see under the market approach that I made allowances for the location and the railroad tracks.
Any questions? All right, I also, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the assessor's office agrees with the tax commission
That's correct.
appraisal? Okay. So we have agreement by both parties as to the value. All right. Yes, go
Mr.
ahead,
Chairman,
Mr. Jeffers.
prepared to make a motion on docket number 19-22172-298. I move that that the 2020 fair market value be set at the LTC staff appraisal, land at 77,800, improvements 82,200, for a total of 160,000.
Second?
Commissioner Archer?
Yes?
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardi?
Yes. Oh, okay. Ms. Mahaffey, we adopted the value you requested. So you're done.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome to stay, but the appeal's done. Yeah. All right. Mr. Lockman's next.
Yes. Raise your right hand. You swear to affirm testimony about the truth and the truth, so help you God.
I do, Arthur Laughlin.
All right. I know we have several that you're handling today. Is that correct?
That is correct,
Okay.
sir. The
Well,
only,
let's go through them methodically, one at a time,
yes, sir.
and go through there. I believe the first one was item C on the agenda, but I believe that one's been withdrawn?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, all right. So item D on the docket, the appeal of Y&M Investment LLC versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-210. Mr. Loughlin, you're here, so go ahead.
Good afternoon, Arthur Laughlin on behalf of the taxpayer. We accept the LTC staff appraisal value.
Okay. All right, let's hear from our appraiser. Sure.
Paul Bennett with the Louisiana Tax Commission. Firstly appraised the property. Let's see, 398,000. The undisputed land was 281,600, and the improvement value is 116,400.
All right, any questions? All right, correct, okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bennett. Again, is the assessor's office in agreement with this commission's staff's value?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So the assessor's office and the taxpayer both agree that the correct value is the value determined by the Louisiana Tax Commission staff appraisal. All right, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move on docket 19-22172-210, set the land value at $281,600, improvement value $116,400, for a total value of $398,000.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shardy?
Yes. All right. Next on the docket, appeal of Y&M Investments LLC versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-212. Mr. Laughlin?
Arthur Laughlin on behalf of the taxpayer. We submitted some exhibits on this property. There's a couple of issues with it. First of all, it's a two-story duplex with an upper unit and a lower unit. Had we not had the COVID restrictions, I believe I would have requested that Mr. Bennett have the chance to come inside and see the property. The upstairs unit is pretty much original from the original date of the place from 1940s. It needs to be updated to attract more modern tenants to get a higher value. Downstairs was repaired after Katrina because they did suffer some water. We agree with the LTC's appraised value if the building was considered in excellent condition. That's probably the market value, but we would request that that the condition of the property be reduced to fair because of the needed repairs. I've sent pictures of the upstairs so you can see how it's still in the original condition. And then the owner had to do some emergency repairs to the downstairs, which I submitted all of her invoices. They're approximately $31,000 and change that she had to get done. If my calculations are correct, if we went down from excellent to very good, we would be kind of right where the assessor has the value. And if we could go to average or fair, I believe that would be more of an equitable situation for my client given the needs to update the upstairs and the downstairs, and also to take care of the problems that had existed at the time that we're talking about the value of this property.
The assessor's office and the Board of Review valued the property at $387,300.
Yes.
What is the number that you're asking for?
Well, we requested in our exhibit 249,000, but we would be happy with 290,000. And if my calculations are correct, sir, that would bring us down to the fair category, if I understand how y'all's ratings go in terms of the appraisals.
But the assessor, our appraiser, we hadn't heard from him, was excellent condition. The assessor's office, very good condition. It's a huge adjustment to 290.
No, and I understand that. And had we not had the restrictions of COVID, I think Mr. Bennett would have seen what the issues were and at least would have gone at least to average condition.
So you're asking for average, not fair?
We would like fair, but I'll settle for average, sir.
Okay.
So you're saying the condition is not excellent?
No,
Yeah.
sir. And
It's
it's not
average.
very good. I think at best, it would be average, all things considered. There's a lot more work that probably needs to be done in terms of updating, but she did the repairs that were absolutely necessary, changed out the windows and things like that. The issue with this neighborhood is you still have properties that are kind of in original Lake Vista when it was originally created, and now we have a bunch of McMansions that are in the area, or doubles that, like this one that had been converted now into a single-family residence.
All right. Well, the assessor's office, is obviously wanting the tax commission staff appraisal value, I understand.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear from Mr. Bennett and let him tell us what he did.
Let's see. I appraised the property at $771,000. The undisputed land value is $317,300, and the improvement value is $453,700.
What would happen to your value if you were to consider it to be in average condition rather than excellent condition?
It'd be a reduction. It may be, let me kind of start here.
Mr. Bennett,
Which one is it?
I think you're on a different.
He's on the wrong one?
You on 30 Dove Street?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Do I have a bad copy here?
I think you have, well, we're on docket number 212, 1922172-212. The address 30 Dove Street.
Yes, it's 30 and 32 Dove Street. Let's see. Yeah, I may have
We show your appraisal at $413,500 total.
it does not.
Mr. Laughlin, it was in real excellent condition.
That's the one we withdrew, that's her nickname.
That's the one that's
Yeah.
one that's withdrawn.
Not sure what,
I have a copy of it, an additional copy.
Here, you want my copy of the appraisal here?
yes, sir, if you don't mind. Thanks, sir.
Because I think what Mr. Lawrence is going to ask is, or Chairman Lawrence is going to ask, what would happen to the value if we set it at average? What number would you arrive at?
At average, well, it depends on if we're going off which copy here. Yeah, something, this is,
Well, the other one, you ought to just say it's gone.
Yeah, the other one was
this
gone.
one's, this must be an erroneous copy because none of the information even matches. Well, where I was kind of going with that, it would obviously be a reduction, but where, I guess the bigger question is where I came up with property was excellent condition. What I have here is lease listings out of MLS for both units.
I don't know, maybe we should pause on this one.
Well,
Yes, sorry, we were digging through this file earlier. Tom, do you?
I mean, I'm looking at the photographs that are attached here. I'm not gonna say this property's excellent in the sense of modern day excellent,
Well,
but it does look like it does look nice. I mean, I don't see, it's nice looking. I mean, it's not, doesn't appear to be something that,
what I've got is two listings from 2007 listings where it was listed by a broker in MLS as both units in excellent condition with at least 12 interior photos confirming it to be in excellent condition. Then also a listing from 2024, the lower unit, this is a second listing, reaffirming an excellent condition rating, showing, so basically it's being marketed as being in excellent condition, or both units being in excellent condition.
I mean, based on the photographs I'm looking at, I don't know that the board of review value is off by that much, if it's off at all. I don't know how everybody else feels.
I'm prepared to make a motion.
Please do.
I would move on docket 19-22172-212 that we affirm the parish board of review, set the land value at $187,500, improvement value of $199,800 for a total value of $387,300.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagusback?
Yes?
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right. All right, next on the agenda is item F. I believe the appeal of Eugene Simon Jr. versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-213. Ms. Laughlin, when you're ready.
Yes, Arthur Laughlin on behalf of the taxpayer. We accept the LTC staff appraiser's value.
And I believe the assessor's office accepts it also, Ms. Melville, am I correct?
I'm checking at the moment. Let's see,
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a technical question?
Pardon me?
Can I ask a technical question?
Sure.
On the previous property, Mr. Bennett had corrected the square footage. Do I bring that back up with the assessor directly, or?
Yeah, you'd have
Gotcha,
to talk
because
to
on
the
y'all's
assessor.
document, it says the new correct square
Yeah.
footage on, all right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, the assessor's office agrees with the LTC appraisal.
Okay. All right. Let's hear from our appraiser and see where we're at.
I personally appraised the property at $771,000 with an undisputed land value of $317,300 and an improvement value of $453,700.
All right. Have any questions? Mr.
Chairman.
Jeffers?
Mr. Chairman, I move on docket number 19-22172-213, that the 2020 fair market value be set at the LTC staff appraisal, land, $317,300, improvement, $453,700, for a total value of $771,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, item G was withdrawn. Okay. Go to item H,
Withdrawn.
the appeal of Robert E. Bertel versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review. I'm sorry, that one's been withdrawn also.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. All right, let's try item I, the appeal of Allison Kern versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-233. You can go ahead and start.
Arthur Laughlin on behalf of the taxpayer. We accept the LTC staff appraiser's value, and we appreciate this opportunity.
All right. And I believe in this matter also, the assessor's office agrees with the tax commission staff appraisal?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. All right, let's hear from our appraiser.
I personally appraised the property at $667,000 with an undisputed land value of $281,300 and an improvement value of $394,700.
Any questions?
Your motion?
Yes, please.
Document number 19-22172-233. I will set the 2020 value at the LTC staff appraisal. Land, $281,300, improvements, $394,700, for a total of $676,000.
Second?
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right. All right, is that all of them, Mr. Laughlin?
That is,
That's it? All right, thank you. right, I guess we go back to the top of the docket. And, I don't believe anyone, everyone who's here to testify about their property we've heard from. Okay. All right, let's go back to the top of the docket. Item A, the appeal of Kyle Bro versus the Owens Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-063. All right. All right, I believe Mr. Bro submitted an appraisal of his property. Give me a second here. Appraisal was for $241,000. And it's dated May of 2020. So, all right, well, property owner's not here, the assessor's office is not here, so let's go ahead and hear from Ms. Kennedy.
I appraised the property at 5564 Woodlawn Place, and my value was $262,000 with an undisputed land value of $120,000, and the improvements valued at $142,000.
I show 130.
Right.
Show a total of 250. Make sure that's not a mistake on our side.
5564 Woodlawn Place.
Yes.
On your conclusion page, you state a value of 250,000.
Everything I'm showing here has the 262.
You want a copy of the appraisal?
Yes.
The one we have is dated February 18th, 2020.
Okay, and this one is also dated the 18th. Well, everything is the same as far as comp, so I guess I'll have to go with this 250.
Well, we have an appraisal from the taxpayer at 241. We have an appraisal at 250, so. Mr. Chairman, if you think that's sufficient information.
I think that's sufficient, yes.
All right, I would move on docket 19-22172-063, that we set the land value at $120,000, improvement value of $130,000, for a total value of $250,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right. Next item on the docket, item B. and I really apologize for this, but I'm not going to be able to pronounce the gentleman's name. But it's, do you know how to pronounce it? The appeal of Huang, Qiang versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-079. My apology for not being able to pronounce the name correctly. I don't believe we have any information from the property owner. And the assessor's office agrees with the LTC staff value, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, well, let's hear from Ms. Kennedy.
I appraised the property at 363 Opal Street. It was a undeveloped lot, and I appraised it at $212,350. And with my sales, I did make a location and view adjustment due to the lot having a view of commercial buildings, the backside of them, and parking lots.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
prepared to make a motion. I move on docket number 19-22172-079 that the 2020 fair market value be set at the LTC staff appraisal, land only at $212,350, for a total of $212,350.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, the next item on the docket, item K, the appeal of Terry Court versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-270. All right, taxpayer is not present. I believe the assessor's office is in agreement with the tax commission staff appraisal, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, and so I guess let's go ahead and hear from Ms. Butler.
I appraised the property at 5565 Katina for a total of $250,000, land being $83,000, and improvements $167,000, I'm sorry. Is that right?
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I move on docket number 19-22172-270 that the 2020 fair market value be set at the LTC staff appraisal, land at $83,000, improvement $167,000, for a total of $250,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right. Now we take up the appeal of Terry L. Court versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-271. All right, no one here on behalf of the property owner. The assessor's office is not present either. So let's go ahead and hear from Ms. Butler again.
This property is 5545 Katina. I appraised this property at $205,000 with land at $78,700 and improvement at $126,300.
Thank you. And the assessor's office, again, on this one is in agreement with the staff appraisal?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on docket 19-22172-271 that we accept the LTC staff appraisal, set land value at 78.7, improvement value 126,300 for a total of 205,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right. Take up the appeal of Terry L. Court versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-274. All right, again, no one here on behalf of the property owner, nor from the assessor's office. I believe the assessor's office is in agreement with the Louisiana Tax Commission staff appraisal.
That's correct.
All right, so let's go ahead and hear from Ms. Butler again.
I appraised the property at 5565 Milne Boulevard for $425,000. Improvement at $318,000 and land, I believe at $132,000. No, that's not.
That's
It'd be
correct.
450,
At
right?
$450, I'm sorry. I
Total-
combined the income and market for $450.
It's $132,000 on land, $318,000 on improvements.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, go ahead.
I move on docket number 19-22172-274 that the 2020 fair market value be set at LTC staff appraisal, land at $132,000, improvement $318,000, for a total of $450,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood, I'm sorry, yeah, Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, item N on the docket has been continued. We'll go to item O, the appeal of Owen B. Leftwich versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-275. Again, no one here on behalf of the property owner, nor on behalf of the assessor's office. However, the assessor's office is in agreement with the Louisiana Tax Commission staff appraisal, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and Mr. Leftwich, I believe, also submitted an appraisal of his property, appraisal dated October of 2019, in the amount of $636,000. So, let's go ahead and hear from Ms. Kennedy.
If I could just have a moment, please. Okay. I appraised the property at 712 Turquoise Street, and I came up with a market value of $715,000, undisputed land value of $235,800, and improvements valued at $479,200.
I'm not sure if you said 760,000
Okay,
or 716,000. We have 760,000.
Yeah, okay, because I've got, for some reason, this older one was in here. So, yes, it's 760,000, I'm sorry. 760,000 and undisputed land of 235,800, and the improvements valued at 524,200.
All right. All right, well, thank you. No questions? I don't know if you've all had a chance to look at the appraisal which was submitted by the property owner, showing a value of, what was it, $636,000. It includes photographs of the property. I don't know what kind of weight we want to give it, but it does show some wear and tear on the
It did show some
property.
deferred maintenance.
Yeah, some deferred
in the
maintenance and
photo.
all.
And I noticed the taxpayer actually requested a value of $685,000.
Yes. Which would probably be somewhat of a compromise between the two appraisals.
Yes. I'm prepared to move.
Please do.
I'd move on docket 19-22172-275, based on the information presented by the taxpayer. I would move that the land value be set at $235,800, improvement value of $450,000, for a total market value of $685,800.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, next item on the docket, item P, the appeal of Joseph Caravella versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22172-277. All right, there's no one here this morning on behalf of the property owner, nor the assessor's office. And the assessor's office is in agreement with the commission staff appraisal of $268,000. Am I correct on that?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, well, let's hear from Mr. Bennett.
I appraised the property at 844 Bungalow for $268,000 with an undisputed land value of $44,400 and an improvement value of $223,600.
Any questions?
Motion?
Yes.
Docket number 19-22172-277. A motion for 2020's valuation be set it at the LTC staff appraisal. Land, $44,400, improvements, $223,600, for a total of $268,000.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
Chairman Shahardy?
Yes. All right, I believe this covers all the appeals on this afternoon's docket, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. The Tax Commission hereby accepts all pre-filed documents and oral testimony into the record as Taxpayer Exhibit 1 in Globo, Assessor Exhibit 1 in Globo, and Louisiana Tax Commission Staff Appraiser Exhibit 1 in Globo for each appeal hearing conducted today respectively. All right. Having concluded the docket this afternoon, I will accept a motion at this time to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood is absent. Commissioner Jeffers?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes.